Hey everyone, I'm Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Platinum Dark Souls Remastered. Alright, the final the final game in the Dark Souls series is here. Yep, so now after this playthrough I've done Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 and Bloodborne, and the only one really left is Demon's Souls, so hopefully that gets remastered at some point so I can do that too, because yeah. They're great. Alright, let's get started right away. Sorry if that was loud. For some reason, when you start the game from that bit where you press the button, it just is really, really loud. I don't know why. And we have to scroll through the EULA. And we're there. Oh, come on. Okay, this one's quick. And we're there. We're not even going to go to we're not going to do it online anyway, so let's have a look. First I want to change network settings, so we're going to go start offline, restricted, character name, local, yep, that's fine. And then the rest we can change in new game, I'm pretty sure. Alright, there we go. So visibility, oh that's right, I forgot about the volume. Let's just put this to like 7. Y-axis we want to do inverted. Sound, I think we want to bring all those down to 3. The voice can stay at probably 5, because I think that's what I tested with. In Dark Souls Remastered they added a UI scale, so you can actually make your UI smaller, which is not being demonstrated here. I'll demonstrate that later. Camera auto wall recovery, what the hell is that? No auto lock on, that's annoying. Vibration, you know what? I don't need vibration. Leave it on 5. Okay. We don't need to change any of the buttons except for one. We want jump to be, wait, L3? I think it's L3. Yeah, because, yeah, L3. That's the only difference we want. Is L3 used for anything else? No. Okay, save changes. Alright, here we go. So, as always, we're gonna pick our class at the beginning. I had a thought to do, like a knight, for example, like a sorcerer, or a pyromancer or a cleric, but, you know, I can't help but do the sword and board, as someone referred to it once, which is really good. So we're gonna do the knight. Gift. Now, Gift is one of those ones that is actually, it was a hard choice for me. I couldn't really think of what to go with. But I decided that for my strategy, I decided to go for the twin humanities. The binoculars, the pendant, the master key, the tiny being's ring, and the old witch's ring are all items that you can only find one of in the game. I think it's only one of. And we're going to get all of them probably except for the pendant, and yeah, just the pendant I think we'll miss out on, but that's okay. The Goddess's Blessing, I don't think that's in the game. There's an item called the Divine Blessing, which is pretty much the same thing, but the Goddess's Blessing, I think this is the only one you can get. Black Firebomb, there's a few of those as well, but Twin Humanities is the one I'm going to go for, based on the strategy that I want to go for. Physique, I'm skinny, so very slim. Commoner, I don't like all the other faces. I have kind of curly hair, and it is dark brown, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I think we're good to go, yep. Let's do this. Alright, let's watch the opening cutscene.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat, then cold, life, and death. And of course, light and dark. Then, from the dark, they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the Scaleless, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Alright, so that was a lot of lore. So it seems like there are there's four lords. That's Gwyn, Seath the Scaleless.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, thank
the
you.
dark sign brands the undead.
The Bed of Chaos, which is like the
And in this
Witch of
land,
Izalith. And
the undead are corralled and led to the north.
the Four Kings, but I don't get it all.
Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
If I really sat down and tried to, learn all the lore, I'm sure I could get it, but it's
Is your fate.
confusing to me when I'm trying to concentrate. Thanks, buddy. Alright, and our journey begins in a cell. Alright, the very first thing we want to do is actually take off our pants. And the reason for that is, hang on, I'll put them back on. So as you can see, when we have all our gear on, we do a heavy or fat roll. If we take our pants off, we can roll a lot quicker. Gives us more iframes to dodge with. We just picked up the dungeon cell key. That allows us to get out of here. Alright, so let's start. Camera controls with the right thumbstick. Attack with R1. Okay, we can target also with R3. All we have is I think it's called a straight sword hilt. Yep, that's all we have. Strong attack with R2. These guys, I'm pretty sure, don't attack back. And if we move forward and hold circle, we can dash. And also, there's a big demon in there who we won't come back and fight for a very long time. In fact, we can face off against him not too long after where we are right now, but we won't come back and fight him for a long time. Okay, that's the one I explained. Attack. Beautiful. We walk through water quite slowly, but we'll be able to change that around a bit later. The weight thing, I guess I'll go over that. But if you guys don't know how Dark Souls works. So in the middle of the screen at the top there's HP, stamina, and then equip load. My equip load in total is 50 units of equip load, and I currently have 19.6 active, which is less than 25%. Am I online? I should be offline. Let me quickly do this. I should just check the network settings there. I think I was. Oh, here we go. Start in offline mode. System, network. Let me just jump back in there. See if that bloodstain's gone. Okay, we should be fine now. And we can rest that bonfire to recover HP. Yeah, so we're at 19.6 over there on the right. If we put the legs on, we get to 26, which pushes us over 50% of our total equip load, which makes us do the fat roll. So we don't want to do that. And removing the legs is the easiest way to you know, get it so that we don't do the fat roll. Enkindle. I can't remember if this is locked. Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Alright, so there's nothing else in this area. Let's keep going. Enkindle's our first trophy for lighting a bonfire. Very easy. We'll get a whole bunch of trophies quite quickly at the beginning of the game. Alright, now in this room there's a boss. But if we go over here, it says get away. That door opens. He looks very similar to the one we just saw, but we have to run away from him. He's called the Asylum Demon. Why is this happening? I'm offline. God, that actually scared me a little bit because I'm like, what on earth? Okay. Get your shield. Okay, so in here, go left, pillage the body, the tower kite shield. We'll be using this for almost the entirety of the game. Open menu with the options button, and the arms icon is the change equipment, so it's there. You can also open the menu by pressing the right side of the touchpad. It's very good. If we hold L1, we can guard with our shield, which will allow us to block his shot, but I'm just going to duck and weave around it. If we sprint, grab the broadsword, quickly equip it, and sprint some more, we can kill him in 2 shots. Much better damage. Excellent. Alright, so this is a fog gate. Throughout most of the game, whenever you cross over or traverse through a fog gate, you will fight a boss. It is not always the case, but it is quite often the case. Alright, you can backstep with circle, and you can move and roll with the left thumbstick and circle. Very useful. Over there's a very important item. We will not be able to get that for a little bit because it's at the top of this broken staircase, unless there's some way to glitch it and jump up, which, knowing this game, there probably is. But it has to be at a very specific pixel or angle. Okay, so this is not required, but if you want, you can come down here and open this door that leads back to the beginning. You do not ever need to go through that door pretty much for the entire game, but it's there if you want it. If you run up here, you get a boulder, move out of the way, smash us through the wall, and we can find, ironically, the guy who saved us. Now this, I don't know how you know his name, but apparently his name is Oscar of Astora, I'm pretty sure. So let's talk to him.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Okay, let's answer yes.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the Undead Asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus Flask. An undead favorite.
Alright, very important.
Oh,
so
and this.
that's good. We get another trophy. And we get the Undead Asylum F2 or Floor 2 East key, which we're going to be using in a moment.
Farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
Okay. If we read this message, it tells us that we can use the item with square. That's the Estus Flask as normal.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you. And
Okay. So let's leave Oscar. I'll quickly show you something. So when you leave, if you listen carefully, there's a sound. He stands up, and he basically gets killed. And for some reason, we get his souls, which is really nice. Actually, I wonder if that's like a story element. Like, because anytime you kill an enemy in this game, you get their souls, as such. Here we can use the key that he just gave us. But it also works for, people, NPCs like him. He died and we were in the vicinity and we got the souls. Okay, triangle to use the weapon in two hands. This is actually very useful for later. Not really for the weapon we have now, but it's useful for later. If we press forward and R1, we can kick. Hang on a sec. Oops. It's a tricky thing to do. There we go. That has to be at exactly the same time. And if we press forward and R2, we can do a jump attack like that. Resting at bonfires revives enemies. That is not entirely the case. It revives most enemies. There are some enemies that you can only kill once. Ow, that hurt. Alright, so this dude's firing arrows at me. So let's take him out. Press R1 while falling to do a plunging attack. That'll come in handy in a moment. Press R1 behind an enemy for a critical hit. And to parry, you can use L2 to repel an enemy attack. And after parrying, you press R1 to riposte. I'll try it on this enemy. It's not really that consistent with it. Okay, I managed to get it. Now, that happened very, very quickly because the way this game works, I'll show it more like a little bit later. I'm a little bit better at parrying in this game than I am at like Bloodborne, for example, so I am going to be using that. I'm going to quickly take a sip of the Estus because we are going to fight that Asylum demon, and we're going to start with a plunging attack. I'll talk about the parry system later. So walk forward, press R1, and you can do damage. Actually I forgot to do something there. If you press forward and R2 to do that jumping attack, you should do more damage, I think like 300 something. Alright, as you can see, he's not too tough. We've already got him down to half health. He's only hit us once. It's all about just timing. Make sure you're rolling at the appropriate moments. Learning his moves. Just roll. You can even roll into his attacks. That's another thing. You don't have to roll like away from them. As long as you're in mid-roll, you will dodge. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright, he gives us the big Pilgrim's Key, and I think 1,000 or 2,000 souls or something. Humanity. Humanity is very important. We'll get into that very soon. There we go, 2,000 souls. You can hear the Asylum demon below walking around. Okay, so we open the door with the big Pilgrim's Key. And we've got this last little area, which I'm going to complete really quickly. Yeah, the parry system, I'll show, when I get a chance, I'll show it off a little bit more. There's an item here. That would be really fun, if I had never found that item there. Yeah, I just pressed R1 like very quickly after I parried. Good job, go straight ahead. Because if you don't, it kind of like throws the game off. You need to be a little bit you need to be relatively close to enemies in order to perform a riposte. Should be an item here. I think it's a Soul of a Lost Undead. Cool. That's when you use it, you get I think it's 200 souls or something like that. I don't think there's anything else. That is important, but not for right now. And I don't think there's any other items here either. So we will, I think I'm going to leave it here and we'll go on to the next area in the next episode. I'm going to try and stick to about 20 minutes for these episodes. It'll give us a good amount of time to get through a fair amount of content, and also, you know, not too long so that you guys can like shove it into your lives in some way. Alright, so I want to thank you all for watching episode 1 of Let's Platinum Dark Souls Remastered. My name's Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.